and welcome to a special Channel KRT where I, Tyler Green, am riding solo on my bench today. But hey, turns out I'm not alone on this bench today. We have a very special guest, as you heard at the end of the first Happiest Celebration on Earth episode. I announced that we were doing a part 2 of this, but I didn't say what the part 2 was going to be. So, allow me to introduce my guest today. You know him as a co-founder of the Fort Worth improv group 4-Day Weekend. You've seen him on hundreds of commercial spots ranging from Nissan to Papa John's, but most importantly, you know him as your guide to all things relaxation in the 2005 Happiest Celebration on Earth Walt Disney World planning video. Ladies and gentlemen, David Wilk.
What an intro. Man, I can't wait to meet this guy.
Never heard of him. Oh, man. But yeah, it's so great to have you, man. I made a joke in the episode last week saying, someone should interview one of these guys again, because I know someone did an interview with Aaron years back. I was like, maybe I can get like all 4 of them, but it didn't work out. But just one is great. And Dave, you are literally the man himself, the master of benches.
I am the master of benches. And what a great character choice, because those other 3 had to run around the park for a month, and I just got to sit around.
Wow, that's how long it took, a month.
It was a 28-day shoot, and we all lived at the Grand Floridian. So it was really cool month. And it was longer than that because we got chased out by a hurricane. So we had to leave and come back.
Oh, yeah. So you were there hurricane season 2004.
Yeah.
I figured it was roughly around that time because around that point, Aaron was doing a bit talking about Stitch's Great Escape, but it hadn't quite opened yet. So, and they had all the Stitch animatronics and stuff around the park. So, out of curiosity, before we talk about the video itself, what was your relationship with the Disney parks before jumping on board?
Other than going as a child and maybe as a young adult, I think just as a child, nothing. It was I'm an actor. I'm a comedian. It was a gig. I auditioned. And then the next thing you know, I'm at the Grand Floridian trying to find a hook for this fun Relaxation Dave character.
So here's the thing. You got to sit around and do nothing.
Yes.
Just nothing.
And the problem with doing nothing is you never quite know when you're done.
Oh man, I feel that.
It was fantastic. It was a great gig. It was steady income for a month. And I was a new father at the time.
Oh, congrats.
So my wife got to come out with my newborn for a couple weeks, and they brought in a refrigerator and they made a nice suite at the Grand Floridian, like an apartment, because we were there.
That's amazing. Yeah, and the Grand Floridian now is massively expensive.
Yeah, I think I'm spoiled. I was like, last time I went to Disney, they paid me. I don't know if I can go back on my own dime.
Oh, so you haven't been?
No, I take it back. I did go one time. I have 2 boys now, and I took my younger son, and we all went.
That's awesome.
And it's the happiest place on earth. And I said, see this bench right here?
Your dad made history on this bench.
Yeah.
Ew, Dad. No, not like that. Not like that.
No, not like that.
Oh, man. So how did you get the role? You said you auditioned. How was the role pitched to you exactly?
It was just that. There were going to be 4 hosts, and this dad character was going to show what the dads can do. Because right now it's, I think the perception at the time was total kids place, dads just schlepping the family around. They're like, no, there's so much to do. And that was the cool part. I got to do everything. I mean, golf, tennis, parasailing, ate at every restaurant, had every drink under the sun. I had the gig of the 4 hosts for sure.
Yeah, dude, literally, I was rewatching some of the bonus features recently, and you literally visited every resort, talked about every resort.
Yes.
Ate at all these amazing spots. Literally, you are the person every Disney park fan wants to be.
It was fun. A funny thing about it was, I'm a comedian. I do a lot of corporate events. I work clean. I'm not a prude by any stretch, but I work clean, and it tends to bode well for these corporate events. And a lot of corporate events are in Orlando. So from 2005 to 2012, that 7-year stretch, I probably had 30 or 40 gigs a year in Orlando. And every time I got on a plane, the parents, no adults would recognize me. A handful of kids, every flight would be like, it's relaxing because the parents would sit them down in front of the TV and go work or do cook dinner or whatever. And the kids watched that over and over and over. So the parents didn't know who I was, but every kid was just like, it's relaxation day.
So
So
here's what's funny is that I was literally one of those kids, and my relationship with the parks is that, this was the video that got me into them because my first vacation was right around this time 20 years ago, and even before I went for the first time, I would watch this video like incessantly. I am 80% sure I imitated at least every host, not just you, but Luke, Stacy, Aaron, just several times on my first trip. And God, I just have so much fucking
it,
nostalgia
it
for that video,
really
man.
it makes me happy that people tend to enjoy it. I can't believe, I've carved out a living on the bottom rung of show business for 30 years, right?
Yeah.
So to walk that 3 minutes boarding a plane, I was kind of like a celebrity. Now the parents had no clue, but I could just tell the kids, relaxation day, that's relaxation day.
You literally have kids bowing at your feet. I am not worthy. I am not worthy. I am
Yeah.
not worthy.
And every now and then I will run into somebody on the street and they will go, oh my God, are you relax? And they will make me find a bench and sit down and take a selfie. I mean,
Oh my
that was just
God.
kind of a throwaway thing, but the director was like, "Oh, that's funny. Yeah, let's just find all the benches we can." And I was like, "Okay." So I don't know, just and then they let me improvise a lot, which was nice
Oh
because
yeah.
I had to get a couple paragraphs out about the place, but then they just kind of turned me loose. So there are a few things, and one of the producers, and it's around somewhere. I don't have it anymore, but there was a blooper reel.
Oh, the
And,
blooper reels on YouTube.
yeah, is it? Okay. It's
Yes,
like
it is. I'll
pretty
send
good.
it
And
to
then I
you.
think there was an adult blooper reel that didn't make anywhere, but
Oh man, I would have watched the fuck
and
out
it
of
was
that.
all the busted takes and then like, oh, the frustration and the laughing. And it was, again, I've done a million gigs, but that was a memorable, fun month for sure.
I can't imagine like just being in your shoes. And nobody on that tape had to have realized the impact that it had on our generation specifically, because this tape literally raised a lot of us and is the reason that, some of us are just so damn goofy about the Disney parks. And one thing that I pointed out on the podcast last week is that there is absolutely a pipeline to the 2005 video to what Disney parks creators are doing today. And I love that.
What do you mean by that? What,
Oh,
just the
like,
vibe?
so there are YouTubers like, Justin Scard and All Ears that are like basically making all these fun games in the parks and sharing history and just getting into all bunch of, shenanigans with like different hosts. And people love it.
It's pre-YouTube, it's pre-internet really being prevalent and anything at your fingertips. So they sent, I think they sent more than 5 million of those DVDs out. And that's a pretty good distribution. That would
I
be like
know.
even a decent
Wow.
sized movie, right? And people just, they loved it. And then when I found out, when you reached out to me and said, hey, we want to do this, I thought, I should probably just refresh my memory on some of it. And I was getting online and I went down the rabbit hole. And man, people are either fanatically, they love Relaxation Dave, or the venom, the venom about why would that go? Why would he go to Disney and just sit on a bench? What an idiot. He drives me crazy. I'm like, oh,
That motherfucker, he's living
yeah.
my dream and getting paid for it. Oh man, I remember like fresh in my mind, going on the internet as a 10-year-old on all these Disney boards, and people would swear by this video to the point where I remember someone literally made like a shrine to you and made it their form signature.
That is so funny. Yeah, I'm so far removed from it that I don't really think about it. And every now and then it will just bubble up like when I got your email, it's like, what? You want to talk to? Yeah, let's do it. That'll be fun. Knock the cobwebs off, and it was fun. A funny story is when the hurricane was coming,
Oh yeah.
they had to get the talent a very subjective term. I put it in quotes. They had to get the talent out of there, but all the flights were full. And it was me, my wife, my son Cooper, little
Oh,
baby, and the director, and we were on a private jet. I don't know if it's Disney's. I don't know whose jet it was, but we got to fly home on a private jet. And I remember looking over at my wife, and keep in mind, I am a broke comic working actor, just gig to gig. And I looked over, and we're on this private jet. And it was kind of the first time my wife looked at me like, this comedy thing might work out.
holy shit, you're big shit, man.
Yeah, that was fun. I remember that vividly.
Oh man, I am just like so jealous. So, you mentioned the producers of the video. Can you go a little bit into detail as to who produced and directed it?
Yeah, the visionary, the guy who was really behind it all as far as the director, because I don't know, there are a couple guys from Disney that obviously the creative team of Disney hired this director, and his name is Tom DeNolf, and he was a Dallas guy, and I had done many things for Tom. I mean, if he needed a comedic actor, I would get the nod. So he said he had me in his hip pocket the whole time, and we went and auditioned and the callback and the whole process. And then he called me and said, "It's you." I was like, "Okay, cool." And then I heard he told me they wanted Ray Romano, but they didn't.
What?
I don't know if it's true or not, but they wanted Ray Romano. That's who they had in their mind when they were thinking of it, and they couldn't afford him. And I'm like, "I'll do it." Gail, count me in.
I've never heard of a planning video wanting to get a big name. Like, I've seen all the TV specials that, used to air in the 90s, but like never a planning video.
Yeah, and he may have been blowing smoke to make me feel good about getting the gig, but that's what trickled down to me. I was like, "Oh, all right, yeah,
Oh yeah, that's amazing. That is just so great. I'm pretty sure too that Tom, who you mentioned, also produced the top seven must do Disney things that used to air on the TVs with
yes,
Stacey Aswad. Very familiar with
yes,
those?
yeah." Those, oh my God, you turn on the TV, that's what you get. I thought
Yes.
those were great. I thought she was terrific, and then I just loved his style. It was way pre-Office. It was, but he always had the camera moving a little bit. It was not. It was all run and gun, and there was always. I used to make fun of him, not make fun of, but have fun with him because he would always have something in the foreground.
That is so amazing. Yeah. It's just like, this is very much a product of its time in the sense that, it's very much the 2000s. It's alive and well. It's a perfect time capsule of what the Disney parks were at the time. And you get like a little bit of like this nostalgic mod like art style to it. Not quite.
Yeah, I thought the graphics package and what they did, that was really pushing it at the time, right? And that was really a cool graphics package. And it was great.
So earlier, before we were getting on mic, you asked me if I reached out to your other castmates, Aaron, Luke, and Stacy. So this ties into my next question. So you and Aaron, your names are pretty much out there. A lot of people know who you are because you guys have done your own things. Nobody really knows who Luke and Stacy are as actors. So could you go a little more into detail about, who they are and where we can find them if you still talk to
I
them?
have no, I would love to find them. I mean, I think a reunion would be a blast, right?
That's what I've been saying. Like, oh my
They're,
God.
they are the nicest, sweetest people. We never had a crossword. It was, the four of us all just kind of looking at each other like, wow, this is kind of a big deal. We didn't quite know how big of a deal it was. This is a big shoot. There's a lot of, it's like, oh, there's Dave's shirt. And I look over and right off camera, oh, there's a rack with 10 other shirts in case I start sweating. And we've never had a shoot. Like, oh, look at that. Constantly, and somebody always around us with a fan. And, I've done a million gorilla things. I'm like, what? Why you're standing there in the sun with a fan? No, don't fan me. Go get in the shade. It was crazy.
So this is like Disney in like late August, early September, which is the times that I usually go to the parks. Not recommended, of course. I mean, it is because it's still Disney, but you're going to be sweating your nuts off.
I remember getting toweled off because I sweat a ton in between every take. And if it was a long block of dialogue, I couldn't get through it without my sweating on my forehead or whatever.
Please, please. I've been here at the Grand Floridian all day, just sweating my nuts off talking about this place. I need to dive in the pool, and I
Yeah,
need
a
to
lot
dive
of
in
it was
right
just
now.
find Dave a shady bench and plunk him down for his lines.
Oh man. So we talked a lot about how much was scripted and how much was improvised. You mentioned that you improvised a lot of stuff. How much of the stuff with the park guests were improvised?
For me, for me, 100% of the interaction with the park guests was improvised. They literally said, "Go have fun." Just go have fun. I mean, that whole get in the photo thing, I don't know if you remember that part. You
Oh
get,
yes, I love that part.
I mean, that was way bigger than made the cut, but I had so many people, you take the get in the photo.
Oh, you're Irish? Get in the photo.
You get in the photo. And I mean, people would say that to me all the time. Can I get a photo? You get in the photo. So anything with park guests was completely improvised. We had the nuts and bolts of the script that we had to get the verbiage right on rides or attractions or restaurants were sticklers about exactly what we had to say. And I'm a way better improviser than I am an actor. So those were those long chunks of dialogue about, God, I don't remember, teeming with wildlife, the 400 acres of animal kingdom. I kind of every now and then it'll pop back in my head. And I go, oh, now I have it memorized 20 years later.
Joke's on you. I had this memorized at the age of 8, and it's literally ingrained in my DNA.
Oh, that is funny. How many times have you watched that DVD?
Oh
Ballpark.
God. So I had to have watched it the most, like between 2005, 2006, to like wane myself into the next trip just to get my Disney fix. Rewatching it for the podcast was my first time watching it in literally, I want to say, yeah, 15 years, essentially.
It is fun. I think I had frosted hair at the time. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
you
was I
did.
what was I doing with my hair back then? Oh well, trying to maybe trying to pull off a little younger than I was, maybe.
One of my co-hosts compared you directly to Ryan Reynolds from a distance.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But wow, thank you. I mean, it's a great distance. It's like the Hubble distance, but
I'll absolutely tell him you said that. But like, going into my next question, because I was talking about the improvisation. I think my favorite bit in the video, the more I think about it, is when you're talking to the kid in the stroller, and you're like, listen, kid, I just want to sit down for a minute. Could you scooch over? And the kid literally goes for it, and the dad is just pushing you. It's just such an amazing bit.
I don't remember that.
You don't?
Did I get in a stroller?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get a screenshot of this. Hold on.
Yeah, no, they were running around. Anybody we talked to, they'd run around with a release and say, can we use it? Can we use it?
Did anybody like have to sign a waiver to do this, or
Anybody that was not an actor that we interacted with the park, there was somebody right behind us. They had to sign a waiver. And I don't know if they were paid or they got Disney tchotchke. I can't recall because I was shuffled off to the next thing, but two or three people would come over and they'd have a clipboard and pens and get people to sign off on using their
amazing. You see, I'm trying to find the clip right here. Okay, so here's part of it.
Excuse me. Hey, little buddy. How do you get this guy to push you around? That looks pretty comfortable. Huh? Got your shade, you got your food. How'd you score that?
It's all coming back to me now. And I love the wardrobe. They put me in the old
God.
days.
The wardrobe is, again, very 2000s.
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, no, I just can't imagine, like, just getting to do this for a month. Like, just being paid to take a vacation.
Yeah, it was a good gig, for sure.
Yeah.
It was a good gig. And I guess, every now and then I'll be somewhere and somebody will still say, "Are you Relaxation, Dave?"
Yeah, so how often do you get recognized, even to this day?
From the Disney video, I would say 5 times a year, I'll be somewhere and I'll just feel them looking at me. And I'm like, I'll go, "Hi." And they're like, "Are you Relaxation, Dave?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yes, I am."
Just
Oh my God.
bug-eyed.
Can we take a photo on a bench? I've probably taken hundreds of photos on benches since the release of that.
And you mentioned being in Disney since then. Has anybody recognized you in the parks?
Nobody recognized me in the park.
My God, that is insane.
Yeah, I was a total civilian. It was fun.
I can't imagine how surreal that would be. You're just sitting on a bench with your family. Someone walks over, like completely bug-eyed, like, oh my God. Oh my God, this is the most magical day of my life.
I don't even know if they still have a planning kit with
No,
the.
they don't. They
They
don't do
don't
that
do it.
anymore.
Okay.
Since social media, they haven't done that since the early tens, I want to say. So, if anything, you got to be a huge part of Disney Parks history in like this crazy way.
Yeah, all the Disney people were like just as advertised, professional, nice, just really treated us well. It was great. Let me think. Oh, wait a minute. When I did go back, I called Tom, and Tom hooked me up with somebody who got me passes to the park.
Hell yeah!
Yes. Aha. I remember.
No free stays though.
No, no, no. Those days. It was a good run though.
So, how much did you guys get to see backstage when filming the video?
Yeah, we got to see everything because they would shuffle us through the tunnels and around, and we got to see. I don't want to flex, but I've seen Mickey with his head off. That's all I'm saying.
You've been flexing this entire time, so you've earned the right, man. I mean, literally, you just said you've been in the utilidors. That is like the flex of all flex. If you're not a cast member,
It's funny because my wife, she in college, she took Disney has a program, and she worked at Disney for college credit one summer.
oh yeah.
And we went to her ice cream shop. She goes, "This was my ice cream shop." And I was going to go with her, but I overslept for my interview. So I didn't get the job. She got the job at Disney. And then I ended up going to Dollywood and worked at Dollywood for the summer.
Ooh, Dollywood. I've never been there, but Dollywood, I've heard great things about that place.
That was fun. It was
Oh
fun.
yeah. I mean, like, what else can I say? You know, like what were like some of your favorite parts about filming, or like what are your favorite attractions that you've like got to do
Well,
while there?
I got to do all the adult stuff, like all the cool, the rides. That was Luke. I was literally doing all the dad stuff. So I think the golf, we shot half a day of golf. We shot hours playing tennis. I shot hours fishing. I mean, I was kind of on vacation. And the other three were running around the park working their butt off.
Listen, you guys got to sweat. He's got to sweat slightly less.
Yeah, no, it was just great. And then the downtime, the four of us just hung out. I mean, we were just we didn't know each other prior to, and just became really good friends for a month, and then just went back to our lives. I think we tried to keep in touch for a little while, but life's busy.
Ah, yeah. I swear I would love to get that reunion going, like just between the four of you. Like if I can ever like find like Luke and Stacy, like get their last names or something, and maybe reach out to Aaron, I would do it in a heartbeat, man, just to get you guys back together.
It would be fun to hear their version of what happened, right? Because we were kind of isolated. We did a lot of early days together, and then I'd have the morning off because Aaron was shooting. And then I'd have the afternoon off because Luke was doing his rides or his water parks. So there was a lot of downtime because, you're basically working a fourth of the time.
What was the first meeting between the four of you guys like?
They brought us into wardrobe. And the first thing we did, they put us in our wardrobe. It was a fashion show. It was like the scene in Pretty Woman where we just kept parading in outfits. And then the very first thing they did was a dancing scene on a green cyc. They just played music and said, "Okay, we just need you guys to dance." Because I guess they used snippets of that for the opening or for transitions. So for like the first 2 hours of knowing each other, the four of us just danced on this soundstage.
As if this wasn't enough, like Friends. And that's a
Yeah.
compliment, of course. This show was my Friends as a kid, basically.
Oh man, that makes me so happy. I'm glad.
Oh, yeah. A lot of good memories. So did you guys like film all the green screen stuff in Orlando, or?
Yeah, everything was shot. We didn't shoot anything outside of Orlando, and I think even those studios. It's been a while. I think those studios were at Disney as well somewhere. I think we did all that on the parks, or in the parks.
Wow, yeah.
And it was fun because I would see the call sheet and think, "Oh man, Luke gets to go to the water parks today." Ah, dang it, because he got to do all the fun stuff. I was older, but I'm still a kid at heart. I'm like, "Oh, I want to go."
Exactly, man. Yeah. I mean, you still got to be in all the parks and everything, but like, it's still like It's like being a fucking kid in a candy store, man.
It's exactly that's you nailed it. We were kids in a candy store and we were spoiled kids because they were absolutely doting on us. It was
Oh
fun.
yeah. So what was your favorite restaurant eating there? Because there's a lot of like really insanely good places
Yeah, there
in the
were,
parks.
it, a lot of it was, the food was prepped so it looked prettier.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't eat this particular part because it was food prepped. So, toothpicks were holding it up or, it was something that looked really pretty. So a lot of that I was faking. Sorry. I don't
Oh,
know.
you monster.
Yeah.
God, first the whole thing with you not being lazy, and now the food isn't even real. I can't take this anymore, man. It's
Sorry.
breaking
I'm,
my heart.
I'm destroying the whole, your whole childhood is blowing up in front of you.
No. I will say, like watching it today, mentioning it like it's an obviously like an insane time capsule of its time. I am jealous that you got to experience Pleasure Island the way it was because I was only a kid. 20 years later, I would love to just drink there, but no, it's all bulldozed now. It's all
Is
Disney.
it?
Yeah, it's what it is now is it's Disney Springs, which is, it's sort of like a more laid back, like riverfront kind of thing with like more family friendly stores. You can still drink there, but the place to drink is Epcot, which it's always been.
Yeah. And that was fun because I got to do that. They had me drinking in every country, and they can't fake a beer. They would bring you a beer and I would look at Tom and he'd like,
So how drunk were you by the end of the shoot then?
no, I wasn't drunk. I mean, it's Disney for God's sake, but it was, yeah, they didn't shy away from that. They're like, no, we want the dads to know, yeah, come to Epcot and have a beer in Germany. Do it. And that was
I love
that
it.
was relaxation days roll. Just
So I mentioned that, a while back, Erin did an interview with another podcast. She mentioned that they wanted to bring her back for the next planning video, which I think was around 2007, but it was shelved when a Disney executive thought that she was too perky, which I heavily disagree with. Erin is amazing. She is a great actress.
I thought the casting for all four, I was very happy with my vibe. I was like, okay, that's exactly what they were going for. But Aaron and Stacy, and they were money. And Luke, look, he's got to be the surfer dude, man, right?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of do clown on Luke a bit in the episode. No disrespect to the actual Luke, but it's still a product of its time, and you can tell he's having fun with the role.
He's a good kid. I shouldn't say he's a nice young man, right? I mean, and they were all pros. I mean, everybody took it seriously. It's like everybody showed up prepared and did what they needed to do and had a great attitude. And yeah, you need to get that reunion going. Come on, I'll jump
I
on.
do. Oh man, do you happen to have Stacy and Luke's last names? Maybe I can get something going.
I bet I can dig it up, but I can't recall it offhand.
Oh man, yeah, because that is like one of the greatest mysteries in the world right now. Is that no one can track them down. No one's tried to track them down.
Well, I believe Aaron was the original Pink Power Ranger, right?
Yeah, she was. And if I'm not mistaken, the Power Rangers that they had in the park at the time was the Power Ranger show she was on Time Force. And now she's, if I'm not mistaken, she's doing a lot of stuff for Hallmark. She has a thing coming out soon, Christmas at Sea.
Oh, that's correct.
Like if you watch that stuff now, she hasn't changed a bit. It's like wholesome. I can't believe they did not want to bring her back. Were you guys in on that by any chance? Were there like any talks of bringing you guys back for the next one or?
No, I never heard anything.
Wow.
Let me think. No, I never heard anything. And I followed up with Tom because Tom and I became very good friends because I'm a Dallas guy. He lives in Dallas.
Nice. Yeah.
We're pretty good buddies. And I would say, hey, any more talk on Disney? He's like, nah, I haven't heard anything.
God, that would have been nice to see more of you guys. But at the same time, like too much of a good thing would probably be too much, And I think it's good to let, this video live in infamy as it is, because everybody loves it for what it is. And I still love it for what it is.
It makes me happy. It was fun to go down memory lane with it. And going down the rabbit hole was fun. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that bit. Oh, that was good too.
I'm so happy we got to do this interview, man. Before we go, I have a couple more questions. One thing I wanted to bring up is that you were telling me this really interesting story before we got on mic, and I'd like you to tell that to the audience as well.
It must have been, you must have put something out to the universe because right after I answered your email, I got another random email. Hi, is this the Dave that's Relaxation Dave? I'm sorry to bother. Super polite. Sorry to bother. My dad is a huge Relaxation fan. We used to watch it all the time. If I send you a DVD, would you sign it for him? And I was like, of course I would, right? Does he really want that? And part of me was like, God, are they making fun of me? Or do they really want it? Um, and then I said, what's your dad's name? They gave me dad's name. And I said, what is it? Give me some facts about him. So today, and I'm not exaggerating, today I was walking with my wife and we were walking around the park. I said, I'm going to sit at that bench, film me. I'm going to give a birthday greeting to that girl's dad. And I literally gave my best relaxation Dave. He was a lawyer.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
didn't have this plan, but I said, a counselor approached the bench. And I was like, I still got it.
Oh man, 20 years out, you can't stop the man.
Right.
All right, so before we head out, let's hear about what you've been up to since filming that video.
Well, since filming that video, I have been growing my business, which is 4 Day Weekend.
Yes.
And I had already started 4 Day Weekend when I got the call for that. It just celebrated its 28th anniversary. We're the longest running show in the Southwest. We perform more than 8,000 shows.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's all improvised. So it's different every night. I've been with the same guys. Some of them been with me all 28 years. And, we're middle-aged men going, I cannot believe we're still doing this show, but the people keep coming and keep coming. And then from that, you grow up and it's like, okay, the show's great, but what else do we have? Corporate communication division, touring company, training center, production company. So we do just a lot of fingers in the pie of entertainment. We are 4 Day Weekend comedy. You need comedic entertainment. Hey, give me a shout. I'll hook you up.
Hell yeah. Have you guys been touring around America by any chance?
Well, we do. We go all over the world for corporate events, but we always try to get back for our weekend shows because that's our bread and butter is we have weekend shows. And it's kind of a Whose Line Is It Anyway meets Saturday Night Live. So
Oh yeah. I was already sold on that when I literally just looked up, and doing some research, looked up some 4 Day Weekend videos and I was watching the Fort Worth Cops one where it's you and another woman and then all of a sudden some Harry Potter characters come out and it's like the most fucking surreal improv I've ever seen. It's amazing.
it's and our prop closet's insane. So we can really, if somebody gives us Harry Potter, by God, we'll give you Harry Potter. And it's super
Man.
fun. Hey, if you're ever in Dallas, laughs and drinks on me anytime. Come out to the show.
Dude, I gotta come to Dallas one of these days. I'll figure something out.
We'll roll out the red carpet for you.
Oh, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. And I'll be sitting on that bench, man. I'll be sitting on that bench
Take a
waiting.
photo on a bench. Funny because I don't know. Is this just audio or is it video too?
Oh, it's audio.
Okay, because I went and I set up this whole shop out on my back patio on a bench, and then it was too hot. I go, I can't do it. I was gonna do the whole thing on a bench for you, but
Oh man, that would have been perfect.
not too hot. Had to bring into the AC. It's Texas. It's 100 degrees.
Yeah, that's fair. You can't make yourself melt for the art, man. It's not worth it. I mean, you were in Florida and it's hotter now than it is ever, but Dave, thank you so much for joining
Hey,
us,
my
man. This
pleasure.
was a
Thanks
lot
for
of
the
fun.
stroll down memory lane.
Yeah, no problem, man. This was so great. All right, channel KRT, cut to static.
So, this is alive, huh?